Welcome back to Footnotes Folly, and to the Winter's Tale. I am Pemberton. This is part 4, the last, and the long penance turns at last to grace. 16 years of grief have not eased the King of Sicilia. Leontes still mourns the wife and children his jealousy destroyed, and faithful Paulina keeps his sorrow sharp on purpose. Into that grieving court come 2 young fugitives, Prince Florizel and his shepherdess Perdita, hard pursued by Florizel's father, and with them, all unknowing, come the tokens that were laid beside a cast-out babe 16 years ago. What follows we shall hear told as wonder upon wonder, a lost daughter found, 2 kings reconciled, and then the strangest marvel of all, a lifelike statue of the dead queen, which Paulina bids us watch, and which begins to breathe. Let us finish it.
Leontes, Cleomenes, Dion, Paulina, and others enter. Sir, you have done enough. You have grieved like a saint. There is no fault you committed that you have not redeemed. Truly, you have paid more in repentance than the offense itself required. At last, do as heaven has done. Forget your evil, and with heaven, forgive yourself. As long as I remember her and her virtues, I cannot forget the stains I put upon them. I keep thinking of the wrong I did to myself, a wrong so great that it has left my kingdom without an heir and destroyed the sweetest companion any man ever built his hopes upon. True, too true, my lord. If you married every woman in the world one by one, or took from all of them every good quality and made a perfect woman from those parts, the woman you killed would still have no equal. I believe it. Killed. She whom I killed. I did it, yes, but you strike me hard when you say I did. It is as bitter on your tongue as it is in my thoughts. Now, good Paulina, say it rarely. Do not say it at all, good lady. You might have spoken 1,000 things that would have helped this time more and shown your kindness better. You are one of those who would have him marry again. If you would not have him do so, then you do not pity the state, nor honor the memory of his royal name. You give too little thought to the dangers that may fall upon his kingdom, and swallow up uncertain observers, if his highness has no child. What could be more holy than to rejoice that the former queen is at peace? What could be holier than, for the restoration of royalty, for present comfort, and for future good, to bless the bed of majesty again with a sweet companion for it? There is no one worthy, when measured against the one who is gone. Besides, the gods will have their secret purposes fulfilled. Has not divine Apollo said, is it not the meaning of his oracle, that King Leontes shall have no heir until his lost child is found? And that she should be found is as impossible to human reason as my Antigonus breaking from his grave and returning to me, for on my life he perished with the infant. Your advice is that my lord should go against heaven and oppose the gods' wills. Leontes, do not worry about an heir. The crown will find one. Great Alexander left his crown to the worthiest man, so his successor was likely to be the best. Good Paulina, you who keep her, Hermione's memory, I know in honor. Oh, if only I had shaped myself by your counsel. Then even now I might have looked into my queen's full eyes and taken treasure from her lips, and left them richer for what they gave. You speak the truth. No more such wives, therefore no wife. If I had one worse than she, and treated that wife better, Hermione's sainted spirit would take possession of her body again, and here on this stage, where we offenders now appear, would be tortured in soul and begin, why was I treated so? If she had such power, she would have just cause. She would, and she would stir me up to murder the woman I had married. I would do just that. If I were the ghost that walked, I would tell you to look closely at that woman's eye and tell me what dull part of it made you choose her. Then I would shriek so loudly your ears would split to hear me, and the words that followed would be, remember mine. Stars, stars, and all other eyes dead coals. Do not fear any wife. I will have no wife, Paulina. Will you swear never to marry except by my free permission? Never, Paulina. May my spirit be blessed if I do. Then, good my lords, bear witness to his oath. You press him too far. Unless another woman is like her, Hermione as her portrait is, should stand before his eyes. Good madam. I have done. Yet if my lord will marry, if you will, sir, and there is no remedy because you will give me the duty of choosing your queen. She shall not be as young as your former queen, but she shall be such a woman that, if your first queen's ghost walked, it would rejoice to see her in your arms. My true Paulina, we shall not marry until you command us. That will be when your first queen breathes again, and never before then. A servant enters. One who calls himself Prince Florizel, son of Polixenes, with his princess, the fairest woman I have ever seen, asks for access to your high presence. What is he doing here? He does not come with his father's greatness. His arrival, so sudden and without ceremony, tells us this is not a planned visit, but one forced by need and accident. What company has he? Only a few, and those not important. His princess, you say, is with him? Yes, the most peerless piece of earth, I think, that the sun ever shone upon. O Hermione, as every present time boasts itself above a better time that is gone, so your grave must yield to what is seen now. Sir, you yourself have said and written so, though your writing now is colder than its subject, she had never been, nor ever would be, equaled. That is how your verse once flowed with her beauty. It has fallen sadly away, if you can say you have seen a better. Pardon me, madam. The one I have almost forgotten your pardon, but the other, once she has won your eye, will win your tongue too. She is a creature who, if she began a religion, could extinguish the zeal of all other believers, and turn into converts anyone she merely asked to follow her. What? Not women too? Women will love her because she is a woman worth more than any man. Men will love her because she is the rarest of all women. Go, Cleomines. With the help of your honored friends, bring them to our embrace. Cleomines and others exit. Still, it is strange that he should come upon us like this in secret. If our prince, jewel among children, had lived to see this hour, he would have made a fine pair with this lord. There was not a full month between their births. Please, no more. Stop. You know he dies to me again whenever he is spoken of. Certainly, when I see this gentleman, your words will make me think of what may strip me of reason. They are here. Florizel, Perdita, Cleomines, and others enter. Your mother was most faithful in marriage, prince, for when she conceived you she stamped out the image of your royal father. If I were only 21, your father's likeness is so perfectly struck in you, his very manner, that I would call you brother, as I called him, and speak of some wild thing we once did together. You are most dearly welcome, and your fair princess goddess. Oh, alas, I lost a pair who might have stood between heaven and earth like this, inspiring wonder, as you gracious couple do. And then I lost, through all my own folly, the friendship and companionship of your brave father, whom, though I carry misery, I long to look upon once more in my life. By his command I have landed here in Sicilia, and from him I give you all greetings that a king, as a friend, can send his brother. If illness, which comes with war, now at age, had not taken hold of his desired strength, he would himself have crossed the lands and waters between your throne and his to look upon you. He commanded me to say he loves you more than all the sceptres in the world, and all the living kings who bear them. O my brother! Good gentleman! The wrongs I have done you stir fresh within me, and these acts of yours, so rarely kind, show clearly how slow and late I have been. Welcome here, as welcome as spring is to the earth. And has he also exposed this wonder to the fearful treatment, or at least the roughness, of dreadful Neptune, just to greet a man not worth her trouble, much less the risk to her person? But my lord, she came from Libya, from where the warlike Smalas, that noble and honored lord, is feared and loved. Most royal sir, from there. From him, whose tears declared she was his daughter when he parted from her. From there, helped by a favorable south wind, we crossed the sea to carry out the charge my father gave me of visiting your highness. I have dismissed my best attendants from your Sicilian shores. They are bound for Bohemia to report not only my success in Libya, sir, but also my arrival, and my wife safely here where we are. May the blessed gods purge all infection from our air while you stay in our climate. You have a holy father, a gracious gentleman against whose person, as sacred as it is, I have sinned, and for that the heavens, taking angry notice, have left me without an heir. And your father is blessed, as he deserves from heaven, with you, worthy of his goodness. What might I have been, if I could now have looked upon a son and daughter as fine as you too? A lord enters. Most noble sir, what I am about to report would not be believed if the proof were not so near. Please you, great sir, Bohemia greets you in person through me. He asks you to seize his son, who has thrown off both his rank and his duty, fled from his father and from his hopes, and gone away with a shepherd's daughter. Where is Bohemia? Speak. Here in your city. I have just come from him. I speak in amazement, and amazement suits both my wonder and my message. While he was hurrying toward your court, apparently in pursuit of this fair couple, he met on the way the father of the seeming lady and her brother, both of whom had left their country with this young prince. Camillo has betrayed me. His honor and honesty until now had endured every storm. Lay it to his charge. He is with the king your father. Who? Camillo? Camillo, sir. I spoke with him. He is now questioning these poor men. I never saw wretches tremble so. They kneel, they kiss the ground, and they perjure themselves as often as they speak. Bohemia stops his ears and threatens them with many different deaths within death itself. Oh, my poor father! Heaven has set spies on us, and will not have our marriage contract celebrated. You are married? We are not, sir, and it seems we are not likely to be. I see the stars will kiss the valleys first, before the difference between high and low is made equal. My lord, is this the daughter of a king? She is once, she is my wife. That once, I can see from your good father's speed, will come very slowly. I am sorry, most sorry, that you have broken from his approval, to which duty bound you. And I am as sorry that your choice is not as rich in rank as she is in beauty, so that you might rightly enjoy her. Dear, look up. Though fortune shows herself our enemy and pursues us together with my father, she has no power at all to change our love. I beg you, sir, remember when you owed no more to time than I do now. With the thought of such affections, step forward as my advocate. At your request my father will grant precious things as if they were trifles. If he would do that, I would beg for your precious mistress, whom he counts as only a trifle. Sir, my liege, your eye has too much youth in it. Not a month before your queen died, she was more worthy of such gazes than what you are looking at now. I was thinking of her even in the looks I gave. Florizel, your petition is still unanswered. I will go to your father. Since your honor has not been overthrown by your desires, I am a friend to them and to you. On that errand I now go toward him, therefore follow me, and watch what path I make. Come, good my lord. They exit. Autolycus enters with a gentleman before the palace. Please, sir, were you there when this story was told? I was present when the bundle was opened, and I heard the old shepherd explain how he found it. Then, after a little astonishment, we were all ordered out of the room. I think I heard the shepherd say that he found the child. I would be very glad to know how it turned out. I can only give you a broken account of the business. But the changes I saw in the king and Camillo were pure signs of amazement. They stared at one another as if they would tear their eyes out of their sockets. There was speech in their silence, language in their very gestures. They looked as if they had heard that a world had been redeemed, or that one had been destroyed. A remarkable passion of wonder showed in them. But the wisest onlooker, knowing no more than what he could see, could not have said whether the matter meant joy or sorrow, only that it had to be one of those feelings in the extreme. Here comes a gentleman who may know more. Another gentleman enters. What is the news, Rogero? Nothing but bonfires. The oracle is fulfilled. The king's daughter has been found. So much wonder has broken out within this hour that ballad makers will never be able to express it. Here comes the Lady Paulina's steward. He can tell you more. A third gentleman enters. How is it now, sir? This news, which people are calling true, sounds so much like an old tale that its truth is strongly suspected. Has the king found his heir? Most certainly true, if truth was ever made plain by circumstances. What you hear, you would swear you saw, because the proofs fit together so completely. Queen Hermione's mantle, the jewel around the child's neck, the letters of Antigonus found with her, which they know to be his handwriting, the majesty of the young woman in her resemblance to her mother, the noble spirit that nature shows in her beyond her upbringing, and many other pieces of evidence, all proclaim with full certainty that she is the king's daughter. Did you see the meeting of the two kings? No. Then you missed a sight that could be seen but cannot be spoken of. There you might have watched one joy crown another, in such a way that it seemed sorrow itself wept as it took leave of them, because their joy was wading through tears. There were eyes lifted upward, hands raised, and faces so overwhelmed that people could be recognized by their clothes rather than by their features. Our king, almost ready to leap out of himself for joy at finding his daughter, then cried out, as if that joy had suddenly become a loss, "Oh, your mother, your mother!" Then he asked Bohemia's forgiveness. Then he embraced his son-in-law. Then he crushed his daughter again in his arms. Then he thanked the old shepherd, who stood nearby like a weather-beaten fountain from the reigns of many kings. I never heard of another meeting like it. It cripples any report that tries to follow it, and ruins any description that tries to do it justice. What, I pray you, became of Antigonus, who carried the child away from here? The story remains like an old tale, still having more to tell even when belief is asleep, and not a single ear is open. He was torn to pieces by a bear. The shepherd's son confirms this, and he has not only his innocence, which seems a great deal, to support him, but also a handkerchief and rings of Antigonus that Paulina recognizes. What became of his ship and his followers? They were wrecked at the very instant of their master's death, in the shepherd's sight. So all the instruments that helped expose the child were lost at the very time the child was found. But oh, what a noble battle was fought between joy and sorrow in Paulina. She had one eye lowered for the loss of her husband, and the other raised because the oracle was fulfilled. She lifted the princess from the ground, and held her locked in an embrace, as if she would pin her to her heart so she could never again be in danger of losing her. The dignity of this event was worthy of an audience of kings and princes, because kings and princes were the actors in it. One of the most touching moments of all, and the one that drew the tears from my eyes, though it did not catch the whole fish of my grief, was when they told of the queen's death. The king bravely confessed and lamented how it came about, and the attention of his daughter was wounded by the story. From one sign of grief to another with an alas she seemed, I would almost say, to bleed tears. I am sure my heart wept blood. Whoever was most like marble there changed color. Some fainted, all sorrowed. If the whole world could have seen it, the grief would have been universal. Have they returned to the court? No. The princess heard of her mother's statue, which is kept by Paulina, a work many years in the making and only recently completed by that rare Italian master, Giulio Romano. If he had eternity himself, and could put breath into his work, he would cheat nature out of her own habit, so perfectly does he imitate her. He has made Hermione so nearly her Hermione that they say a person would speak to her and stand waiting for an answer. They have gone there with all the eagerness of love, and there they mean to have supper. I thought she had some great matter there in hand, because she has privately visited that secluded house 2 or 3 times a day ever since Hermione's death. Shall we go there and add our company to the rejoicing? Who would stay away if he has the benefit of access? Every blink of an eye some new grace will be born. Our absence makes us poor in knowledge. Let us go. The gentlemen exit. Now, if I did not have the stain of my former life on me, promotion would fall onto my head. I brought the old man and his son aboard the prince's ship. I told him I had heard them talking about a bundle, and I did not know what else. But he at that time was too deeply in love with the shepherd's daughter, as he then thought her to be, who was beginning to be very seasick, and he himself was little better. Because the bad weather kept on, this mystery remained undiscovered. But it is all the same to me. Even if I had been the one to uncover the secret, it would have had no pleasant flavor among my other discredits. Shepherd and clown enter. Here come the ones I did good to against my will, already appearing in the blossoms of their fortune. Come, boy. I am too old to have more children, but your sons and daughters will all be born gentlefolk. Well met, sir. You refused to fight with me the other day because I was not born a gentleman. Do you see these clothes? Say you do not see them, and still think I was not born a gentleman. You had better say these robes were not born gentlemen. Call me a liar, do it, and try whether I am not now born a gentleman. I know you are now, sir, born a gentleman. Yes, and I have been for these last 4 hours. And so have I, boy. So you have. But I was born a gentleman before my father was, because the king's son took me by the hand and called me brother, and then the 2 kings called my father brother, and then the prince my brother, and the princess my sister, called my father father, and so we wept. Those were the first gentlemanly tears we ever shed. We may live, son, to shed many more. Yes, or else it would be hard luck, being in such an upside-down high estate as we are. I humbly beg you, sir, to pardon all the wrongs I have done to your worship, and to give a good report of me to the prince my master. Please do, son, for we must be gentle now that we are gentlemen. Will you mend your life? Yes, if it pleases your good worship. Give me your hand. I will swear to the prince that you are as honest and true a fellow as any in Bohemia. You may say it, but do not swear it. Not swear it now that I am a gentleman. Let peasants and freeholders only say things. I will swear them. What if it is false, son? Even if it is ever so false, a true gentleman may swear it on behalf of his friend. And I will swear to the prince that you are a brave fighting fellow and that you will not get drunk. But I know you are no brave fighting fellow, and that you will get drunk. Still, I will swear it, and I wish you would become a brave fighting fellow. I will prove so, sir, as far as I can. Yes, by any means, prove yourself a brave fellow. If I do not wonder how you dare risk getting drunk when you are not a brave fellow, do not trust me. Listen. The kings and the princes, our relatives, are going to see the queen's picture. Come, follow us. We will be good masters to you. They exit. Leontes, Polixenes, Florizel, Perdita, Camillo, Paulina, lords and attendants enter a room in Paulina's house. Serious and good Paulina, what great comfort I have received from you. My sovereign lord, whatever I did that was not well done, I meant it well. You have fully repaid all my services. That you, with your crowned brother, and these betrothed heirs of your kingdoms, have been pleased to visit my poor house, is more grace than the rest of my life can ever repay. Paulina, we honor you by troubling you. But we came to see the statue of our queen. We have gone through your gallery with much pleasure, seeing many rare things, but we did not see the thing my daughter came to look at, the statue of her mother. As she was unequaled while she lived, so I believe her dead likeness surpasses anything you have seen yet, or anything any human hand has made. That is why I keep it alone, apart from the rest. But here it is. Prepare to see life imitated as vividly as still sleep ever imitated death. Look and say whether it is well done. Paulina draws back a curtain and reveals her, Hermione standing as a statue. I like your silence. It shows your wonder all the more. But speak. You first, my liege. Does it not come somewhat close to her? Her very posture from life. Scold me, dear stone, so that I may truly say you are her, Hermione, or rather, you are she because you do not scold, for she was as gentle as childhood and grace. But still, Paulina, Hermione was not so wrinkled, not nearly as aged as this seems. Oh, not nearly so much. That shows all the more the excellence of our sculptor, who let 16 years pass over her, and makes her as she would look if she were alive now. As she might have looked now, which comforts me as much as it pierces my soul. Oh, this is how she stood, with just such living majesty, such warm life as now stands coldly here, when I first courted her. I am ashamed. Does the stone not rebuke me for having been more stone-hearted than it? O royal work, there is magic in your majesty. It has summoned all my evils back into memory, and it has taken the spirit from your admiring daughter, who stands like stone beside you. Let me, and do not call it superstition, kneel and ask for her blessing. Lady dear queen, whose life ended when mine had only begun, give me your hand to kiss. Oh, be patient. The statue has only just been set in place. The paint is not dry. My lord, your sorrow was laid on too heavily. 16 winters have not blown it away, nor have 16 summers dried it. Hardly any joy ever lived so long. No sorrow but would have killed itself much sooner. Dear brother, let the man who caused this grief have the power to take away as much of it from you as he will take on to himself. Indeed, my lord, if I had thought the sight of my poor image would affect you like this, for the stone is mine, I would not have shown it. Do not draw the curtain. You must not gaze at it any longer, or soon your imagination may think it moves. Leave it, leave it. I wish I were dead, except that already I think, who made it? Look, my lord, would you not think it breathed? And that those veins truly carried blood? Masterfully done. The very life seems warm upon her lip. The fixed look of her eye seems to have motion in it, as art deceives us. I will draw the curtain. My lord is almost so carried away that he will soon think it lives. Oh, sweet Paulina, make me think so for 20 years together. No sane judgment in the world could equal the pleasure of that madness. Leave it alone. I am sorry, sir, that I have stirred you so deeply. But I could distress you even further. Do, Paulina. This suffering tastes as sweet as any healing comfort. Still, I think there is breath coming from her. What fine chisel could ever carve breath? Let no one mock me, for I will kiss her. But my lord, hold back. The color on her lip is wet. You will spoil it if you kiss it and stain your own lips with oily paint. Shall I draw the curtain? No, not for these 20 years. I could stand looking on for that long. Either hold back, leave the chapel at once, or prepare yourselves for still greater amazement. If you can bear to watch it, I will make the statue truly move, step down, and take you by the hand. Then you will think, though I deny it before it happens, that I am helped by wicked powers. Whatever you can make her do, I am content to watch. Whatever you can make her speak, I am content to hear, for making her speak must be as easy as making her move. You must awaken your faith. Then all stand still. Or let anyone who thinks the thing I am about to do is unlawful depart. Go on. No foot shall move. Music, awaken her. Play. It is time. Come down. Be stone no longer. Come forward. Strike everyone who looks on with wonder. Come. I will fill up your grave. Stir. No, come away. Leave your numbness to death, for dear life redeems you from him. You see, she moves. Hermione comes down from the pedestal. Do not start back. Her actions will be as holy as the spell you hear from me is lawful. Do not shrink from her until you see her die again, for then you would kill her twice. No, give her your hand. When she was young, you courted her. Now in age, must she become the suitor? Oh, she is warm. If this is magic, let it be an art as lawful as eating. She embraces him. She hangs about his neck. If she belongs to life, let her speak too. Yes, and make it clear where she has lived, or how she was stolen back from the dead. If you had merely been told that she was living, you would have laughed it down like an old tale. But it is clear she lives, though she has not yet spoken. Wait a little. Please, fair madam, step forward. Kneel and ask your mother's blessing. Turn, good lady. Our Perdita has been found. Paulina presents Perdita, who kneels to Hermione. You gods, look down, and from your sacred vessels pour your blessings on my daughter's head. Tell me, my own child, where have you been kept alive? Where have you lived? How did you find your father's court? For you shall hear that I, knowing from Paulina that the oracle gave hope you were still alive, preserved myself to see what would come of it. There will be time enough for that, unless they all now wish to trouble your joys with similar stories. Go together, all you precious winners, and share your rejoicing with everyone. I, an old turtle dove, will fly to some withered branch, and there mourn for my mate, who will never be found again, until I myself am lost. Oh, peace, Paulina. You must take a husband by my consent, as I take a wife by yours. This is a bargain made between us by vows. You have found mine, but how you did it must still be questioned, for I saw her as I thought dead, and I have said many useless prayers upon her grave. I will not search far to find you an honorable husband, for I partly know his mind. Come, Camillo, and take her by the hand. Her worth and honesty are richly known, and are here confirmed by us, a pair of kings. Let us leave this place. Come look upon my brother. I beg both your pardons for ever placing my wicked suspicion between your sacred looks. This is your son-in-law, and son to the king, whom heaven guided to be betrothed to your daughter. Good Paulina, lead us away to a place where, at leisure, each of us may ask and answer about the part each has played during this wide gap of time since we were first divided. Lead us away quickly. They all leave.
There the winter's tale ends, and it ends against every expectation the first half gave us, in joy. The statue was no statue. Hermione, kept these 16 years in secret by the steadfast Paulina, steps down alive into the arms of the husband who wronged her and the daughter she had never seen grow. The tragedy of the early acts is not undone. The boy Mammalia stays in his grave, and the lost years cannot be given back, but what can be mended is mended, and a play that began in a jealous winter closes in the warmth of a spring restored. It is a fairy tale, and it knows it. That is its whole tender argument. Thank you for sitting with the whole of the winter's tale. Mind the footnotes, and beware the folly.